Finally, it's Halloween. I thought to myself while glancing at the time on my phone screen. It's supposed to be a spooky and festive occasion, at least for most people. But for me, it's just another shift. It's the usual night shift at the convenience store. Nothing really out of ordinary, if I'm being honest. You might get some odd customers here and there, but that's about it. Well, the pay grade is better, so that's a plus. And maybe a bit of thrill from the chance of something terrible like theft or robbery. But nothing like that happened so far. I switched between checking the store entrance and browsing my phone until a customer came in. I put away my phone, greeted, and welcomed him as usual. He greeted me back, polite and normal. Then he asked me if we had a specific candy. I didn't recognize the name, but I told him I would look for it. Of course, I had to be on guard. He might just be waiting for an opportunity to commit terrible acts. But as if he read my mind, he just stood there, maintaining a respectful distance, halfway between the counter, the entrance, and me. Come to think of it, he was standing in this perfect spot where I could see him just fine, but didn't feel close. Anyway, I searched through our snack section for the candy he wanted. Twice. Just to be sure. But no luck. We didn't have it. When I informed him about it, he tilted his head a little, but didn't seem upset. I asked if he needed anything else, and he said, not really, adding that he was just preparing treats for the Halloween, which is, well, today. He even showed me a brown paper bag filled with all sorts of treats. I laughed a bit. You don't see too many adults that are into Halloween. We started some small talk, and I ended up telling him that I usually work alone on these night shifts. He said that sounded dangerous, especially tonight. I shrugged, said I'll manage. Probably. He asked if he could stick around to chat for a bit, passing some time. Well, it never has been lively around here, so I figured, why not? He seemed decent and harmless enough. We talked for a while. Nothing too special. Just some good social interaction, I would say. Eventually, we talked about Halloween, what he liked about it. His answer was simple. He liked the treats, and he liked giving out both tricks and treats. I found that amusing, 'cause sometimes it's just that simple. Then he asked me what I thought about Halloween. I said it was alright. I mean, I don't hate it or anything, but I'm not exactly out there being festive either. But I did mention pumpkins and chocolate though. He then put his bag on the counter, rummaged around, and pulled out 2 packages of chocolate. I didn't recognize the brand. It looked fancy though. He handed me one and opened the other for himself. Nice looking chocolate bar. He told me to try it, and since he was offering, I figured, what harm could it do? Kinda feel like trick or treat in a way too, so I tried it. It was amazing. Rich, not too sweet, not too bitter, just perfect. I don't know what to say besides delicious. I asked him where he got chocolate this good, and he said it was a limited edition. He probably saw the expression on my face, so he told me he might be able to get me more next time we meet. I laughed and told him he knew where to find me. After we finished our chocolate and a bit more of chatting, he finally said goodbye, wished me a happy Halloween, and stepped out. I waved and jokingly told him to come back again soon, like I would say to any customer. He chuckled, gave a quick wave, and disappeared into the night. I felt a bit lonely when he left, surprisingly. Having company for a change was nice. Then the automatic entrance door opened again, and in came my manager, which was unexpected to say the least. I greeted him, asking why he was here in the middle of the night because he usually doesn't. He said he was just passing by and thought he would say hello. I chuckled. He could be strict sometimes, but he is generally good folk. Then he saw the chocolate wrapper on the counter and jokingly asked if I had snuck some treats from the store. I declined and told him that the customer that just left had given it to me. He looked confused, saying he hadn't seen anyone when he walked in. I thought he must have just missed him, but he was quite certain that he didn't see anyone. Then he picked up the wrapper and went quiet. After a moment, he told me that this chocolate, this brand, hadn't been manufactured in a long time. It was rare and actually pretty valuable to collectors. We looked over the wrapper more closely, and that's when we saw that there were no manufacturing or expiration dates. Weird, but I knew for certain that it wasn't old or expired. It tasted way too fresh and good for that. Curious, we checked the surveillance camera feed to see if it caught that customer on tape. But no. Somehow, the cameras had stopped recording right before he'd entered and didn't come back on until after he'd left. We stared at each other, totally dumbfounded and confused. I looked down again. The chocolate wrapper was still there on the counter. I guess I got both the trick and the treat. Happy Halloween.